Hey guys, AC here. Thanks for joining, fellas. Welcome to another exclusive review. This time it's a new house for me. The house is very interestingly named 8 and Bob, and the name of the fragrance is Memoires de Mustique. Mustique is an island in the Caribbean Sea, and the fragrance basically tries to capture the smells the perfumer smelled when he was on a holiday in these chain of islands, or this island. But before we get into the review, fellas, number one, I'm quite thankful to the people who have subscribed, and quite thankful to the people who leave these amazing comments. You know, that's the best part of doing a review, reading beautiful comments from you all. Very knowledgeable, you know, very lucky to have such subscribers. But yeah, I've added about 80 odd subscribers in the last 2 weeks or so, which is a huge number for me. I want to thank you all, and I hope you find my reviews interesting and insightful. That's all I'm trying to do. And you know, I love perfumery, and excuse me, it's interesting to see there's so many people who love perfumery and they want to genuinely appreciate fragrance for what it is. So without further delay, let's get into this fragrance. So I've been sampling this fragrance. As you can see, I've got a couple of samples, I've got a decant. I quite like this house. I've sampled 3 of the fragrances. One is 8 and Bob, the original creation. The other one is Egypt, and the third one is this. This is my favorite, and this is the least expensive. Quite an expensive niche house. So let's start with the story. I wouldn't bore you with the details. It's got a very interesting story of how 8 and Bob came into being. It's available on their website, 8andbob.com. But in a nutshell, the person who created these fragrances, or a couple of these fragrances, was basically a French or Parisian aristocrat who was quite moneyed, and he had a hobby. He used to create his own fragrances, and I'm talking back in the 1930s. He used to share those fragrances with his friends, and he befriended John F. Kennedy. And there's a beautiful story, I'll let you read that, and that's how 8 and Bob came into play, and you can go and read it. This person is long gone. His name is Albert Fouquet. He's created 2 of his formulas are being sold. One is 8 and Bob, and the other one is Memoires de Mustique. And his basically recipes or formulas survived the Second World War. So this fragrance, this got my attention. I always try and explore new houses. I was basically in Selfridges. In the basement they have a little kiosk of 8 and Bob, so I went and sampled a few. This one caught my attention. I really like this one. So let's start with how the fragrance smells. This is basically a neroli based fragrance, but neroli done beautifully. Yeah. So in the beginning, I smell neroli, petitgrain, and orange blossom. Yeah. And if you have read about these things, you will know that they all come from the same plant. In fact, neroli and orange blossom are the same essence, extracted differently. And the smell profile is neroli is herbal, medicinal, and sharp. Orange blossom is sweet, floral, and tender. It's the same flower. In fact, orange blossom shares a little bit of characteristic with gentle jasmine, tender jasmine flowers. So what do you smell? It's a beautiful orange blossom, neroli predominantly, with petitgrain coming in, and orange. They've also introduced orange in the fragrance. So a fruity, floral, sharpish, herbal scent. Yeah? Beautiful, guys. Neroli is playing a dominant role here. The fragrance then, in about 15-20 minutes, comes into the heart. The heart introduces another fruity floral aspect, which is osmanthus. And that transition mellows down the neroli. Yeah? So from herbal, sharp type smell, it sort of mellows down a little bit. Still stays sort of citrusy, neroli, fruity fragrance. And in the dry down, it carries on in that train, yeah? Never loses the beautiful neroli and osmanthus and orange blossom. In the end, there's an ambery aspect to it, slight bit of warmth. So citrusy, fruity, warm fragrance, little warmth in the end. I like all parts of this fragrance, I really do. It's a very, very nice, very pretty. This is unisex, a very pretty orange blossom neroli fragrance, yeah, with fruity aspects accentuated and supported by amber. This is the story of this fragrance. Nicely done, really good. So, I mean, these kind of fragrances give you compliments. They get you attention. You smell very pleasant and very clean. Neroli, as you know, symbolizes cleanliness. The smell is very clean. Almost, if you smell real neroli, it smells almost like a industrial carbolic scent, yeah, cleaning agent type smell. But that's neroli absolute. Beautiful, guys. The opening is amazing, the heart is amazing, the base is even better. The longer it stays on your skin, the better it smells. Now this thing reminds me of a fragrance which I reviewed a long time ago. When I started reviewing, this was probably the fifth review I did. It's Lorenzo Villoresi's Acqua di Colonia. Yeah? This fragrance is based on all three: petitgrain, neroli, orange blossom. But the difference between this fragrance and this fragrance is it's got a bitter orange as well, and I think it has got lavender as well, and this fragrance also has musk. This is slightly more manlier, slightly more lemony. Oh, by the way, this also has LME in the base, which is what accentuates the lemony quality. So these two fragrances get very close, yeah, in their dry down. In the opening, the moment you spray this, if you have smelled Acqua di Colonia, it will remind you straight away because of the neroli. The execution of neroli and petitgrain is very much like Acqua di Colonia. I like both. This is fruity, slightly sweet, and more prettier version of Acqua di Colonia. Acqua di Colonia is manly. It's more, I wouldn't say harsh, but it's less smoother, yeah, but more manlier fragrance. So let's go to the pros and cons, guys. Number one pro: if you like neroli, if you like manly floral scents, fruity florals, this one will really impress you because of its execution. It's beautifully done. It's really friendly kind of a fragrance. That brings me to the second pro. I think this will be a compliment magnet. It's a daytime scent. If you wear this to office, if you dress it down, you're bound to get compliments because how pretty it smells, how clean it smells, and how much it projects. Which brings me to the third pro. Good performance, guys. Very good projection. Longevity is probably 5 to 6 hours. It dies down after 5 to 6 hours. It stays a skin scent. But tremendous projection. You can really smell it. And that projection is probably going to be its maximum the first 2 hours. Then it comes closer to the skin. But good performer. And it smells really good. Definitely very nice smelling fragrance. Downside, this leans slightly unisex. So people who like really manly citrus, very manly orange blossom and neroli fragrances, they might get disappointed. But they won't get disappointed by the actual note of neroli. Neroli execution is fantastic, really good. And the orange blossom. Second downside probably is going to be lack of versatility. I wouldn't be able to wear this in any other weather apart from warm weather. Anything over 20 degrees, this will go very well. Anything below 20 degrees, it'll smell rather ordinary. For the amber and the osmanthus to play a role, it needs a bit of warmth, right? And I think this is a warm weather scent. So lack of versatility would be the second downside. The third downside is value for money. This one, Memoires de Mustique, is listed on Notino for 100 ml. This is 120 pounds and this is the cheapest from the house. You know, as I said, you know, there's a fragrance which smells very similar to this in its dry down. This one is probably, I don't know, it's a 50 ml I believe. It's available for £60, I believe. I got mine heavily discounted for £54, but that was years ago, a couple of years ago. But value for money for this kind of scent, the quality is high. But value for money, I'd say mediocre. Yeah, it is expensive. For what it gives you, it is expensive. So fairly linear, floral, fruity. There are many in the market. But what I like about this fragrance is the execution of neroli, orange blossom, with the osmanthus, the fruity, floral, herbal aspect. Really nice. Weather. I touched upon this. I think this is a warm weather scent. Occasions, I would say this is basically one of those fragrances that you would want to wear to office because of how nice it smells, how elegant this is, how stylish this is. A very modern scent. Yeah, in spite of the formula being existing for God knows how many years, this is a stylish fragrance. You can easily wear this to work. You can also dress it down. Yeah, it has to be a daytime, hot day. It can be a t-shirt and jeans fragrance. This is not playful, but this is a sincere, modern, approachable, compliment garner. Yeah, so that's the occasion. Age groups, I'd say neroli. Neroli smells a little bit mature, so 25 plus, I would say, is the right age group. But suited to your convenience, definitely worth sampling. Don't blind buy it. Obviously, it's too expensive to blind buy anyways. So I think all in all, I'd give Memoires de Mustique 7 out of 10. Very nice summer scent, warm weather scent. Hope you like the review, fellas. Take care. Bye-bye.